Now for real. How much is that dog in the window? Woof, woof. The one with the waggly tail. Woof, woof. How much is that dog in the window? We sang that, and for me, lobola is, or ilobolo. I don't even know how you pronounce it. My parents said lobola, but abanibati ilobolo, and whatever. Either way, you're paying. As a man, you are paying something to get a woman to marry, so that she's married to you. How it was described to me by my parents was, they're thanking us for raising you, and it's building a relationship between their families and ours. That is what I was told. So they're thanking us for raising you. I was not raised for a man. Or rather, when I was born, let me just switch that, because I don't know what they were thinking. My mother was thinking. I will actually do. When I gave birth to my daughters, I did not think, oh, I've got a daughter, I am raising her for a man. No, I am raising her because I have to raise her. I'm raising her because, like my sons, I have to raise all my children, boys and girls. I have to feed them all. I have to educate them all, whether boy or girl. So why should I be thanked for raising the girl? How come no one then is thanking me for raising my son and making him a good husband? So there's no reason for a human who's out there to thank me to thank my parents for them raising me. I don't want some man to come and say, oh, Mrs. Nkomo, I'm so thankful that you raised Ella for me. I wasn't raising her for you, son. I was just raising her because I should. So that didn't wash for me. Why should they pay a monetary amount for something that should have been done anyway? Secondly, to build a relationship, I didn't know you need money to build a relationship. That explains the black tax, because you owe me. Otherwise, if you don't give me money, then we don't have a relationship. But seriously, I have seen also that apparently it's to build a relationship between the ancestors, and apparently the ancestors need a cow to have a relationship, or many cows to then accept the living people. I don't understand that, because I'm Christian. So I don't understand why the ancestors need a cow, or many cows. I don't understand why ancestors need a cow to accept the groom and his family and his dead people. I don't understand that. It doesn't make logical sense to me, but there are many Christian things that don't make logical sense to the non-Christians. So I will leave that. Building a relationship between the living people. Here's how I do it. Hey, how you doing? It's nice to meet you. My name is Tandy. This is my son, Micaiah. Why are you here? That's how I build a relationship. I speak. So if I'm going to become your child's mother-in-law, I will say, hello, Mrs. Ndlovu. It's nice to meet you. Tell me about yourself. Oh, how do you feel about our children getting married? I look forward to becoming like a sister to you. That's how I build a relationship. I don't need you to pay me. Not even one cow. I don't even need the leg of a cow. I promise you, I will still be related or in relationship with you, no matter what you give me or don't give me. So for me, it still felt like my parents were selling me. And my dad, now I see why. Now that I know that there's an ancestor aspect to it, I see why my dad, like me, didn't actually want to pay lobola, or to have lobola paid for. His argument was, but the young man needs the money so that he can build a future for my daughter. Imagine that, a father who wants his children to not suffer. But people who don't know me from Adam, who've never spent a cent on me, who didn't raise me, then came and said, no, that's wrong. What are the people going to say? I don't care. I personally don't care what the people say. I guess my dad did. And I guess they said whatever else they said. All I was told was that those people, I know them. they came and said, no, but you can't do that. That's selling her off cheap, like she's not worth nothing. I am worth 100,000 million, 50 billion, trillion cows. So even the 15 cows that were paid, I was worth, I am worth much more than what my husband paid for me. So that argument, if you ever come across this, whoever, you know who you are, lame. I disagree. I don't know why you got involved. I didn't ask you. I didn't know you. We were not actually close. And they never took interest in us afterwards. Just interest. Like, anyway, I won't even go there. But yes, they come and they negotiate. No, you must do this, you must pay this, and this must be paid for. And then this jacket must also, the father must have a jacket, and the mother must have a shawl, and this. What? I don't understand it. I will never agree with it. I will never. I told my husband, even before we had a daughter, I will never charge lobola for my daughter. Of course, this is patriarchy. So he's like, well, it's up to the man anyway. It's the fathers and the uncles and the brothers who charge lobola. So do what you want. So I told him, I don't care. So I'm answering a comment where some idiot, some person said, well, if you allowed them to charge under someone else's documentary on lobola, they said, well, if you allowed someone to pay for you, then it will be your fault that they then treat you like property and abuse you. We have no choice. I'd love you to come and live in our African life. We women, honestly, we don't have choice. No matter how wonderful our husbands may claim they will be, there will come a time when they will treat us like property, whether they paid lobola or not. Just like white people who don't pay lobola, they will treat you like property, whether they paid lobola or not. It's got nothing to do with paying lobola, how you are treated. It's about that person's character. But I personally didn't allow it. I didn't. I had stood with my dad and said, no. It's not like my husband coming in from the outside can say, no, your daughter doesn't want you to charge me. So it's not, then there will be no wedding. That's what this person doesn't get. Unfortunately, which is what the person in the documentary said, she didn't want lobola either. But you're not in charge of your life as a black woman, unless you then go and elope. But then that will then cause issues that most of us don't want, because as I said in my other video, we love our families, and that is our downfall. We love them, so we want to respect them, and so we allow them to dictate and do things that go against our beliefs or natures or values up to a point. So even for my example, my wedding, I wanted a small wedding. Well, I'm going to help pay for this wedding, so I'm going to make it big. Everyone. Everyone has seen that. Sorry, if I breathe deep, it's not good. Everyone has seen that. Across every nation, if your mother says she's going to pay, then she's going to want to do things her way. That just goes without saying. And then we said, we don't eat meat. So we don't want meat served at our wedding. Here's the stupid thing. There's a relative who wants to eat meat. And she has been going on and on. I got married in 2003. It's been 21 years now. She keeps going on and on about how my mother took her to a farm to look at sheep because we have to slaughter sheep. Again, ancestor stuff. So I don't actually know. There are many reasons why I wouldn't want meat at my wedding as a Christian female. But yes, they have to slaughter a sheep, and it has to be, they can't just go buy mutton. You have to slaughter it and kill it. The blood must flow for whoever dead person is watching. So she keeps going on that she went to the farm with my mom, and then my mom said, oh, I can't afford this. And then my mom looked at her and said, pay, basically. And she was saying, but I didn't come here to pay for the sheep. And I keep thinking, well, neither did I. I didn't ask for any sheep. So deal with it, lady. My husband says, ask her how much a sheep costs, because We don't owe her the sheep. We never asked for them. We can pay her back. She keeps going on about it. So that is the sad thing. They will make plans, unfortunately, for you unless you do elope. But if it is a family affair, they will come and change your father's mind and say you have to be paid for. You have to be bought. The only person who bought me is God. Because he made me. He made me. I am literally, truly God's property. And so God owned me. Not only did he own me because he created me, but then by redeeming me, he bought me on that cross. He paid blood. He paid blood for me. A life for a life. That is what I am worth. No amount of cattle can ever amount to the worth of a human being. They look at things like how educated is she, how sophisticated is she, what kind of family does she come from, is this the first man she's ever going to sleep with, does she sleep with other people, is she damaged good, does she have children, shock and horror if the person has dared to have children before getting married, then their value decreases, depending on who you are. Some people, if you're not Christian, the value goes up because they've proven they can do it. It depends on what kind of family is doing the negotiating. Negotiate. No, we will only pay 6 cows. No, we want 20 cows. Okay, fine. Let's settle on 15. Madness. Absolute madness. It's wrong. I can't even remember who the people were who sat there and decided how much my value was worth. But I know for sure. They didn't know me from Adam. They don't know me. They don't know how I value myself. They don't care how God values me. They look at that kind of stuff. How much material worth is she worth? If they'd known I was sick, they would have then charged less for me because I'm less useful as a wife. That's how it is. Whereas for me, if I'm assessing a future daughter-in-law, I'm hoping that she'll be kind, stand for the truth, that she will be loving, generous, compassionate, that she will be so giving that she'll sacrifice, but never sacrificing herself. Everything in moderation. I don't want her giving me money. I don't want to ask her for money. But she's still building her own home. I don't want that. So she must be generous, but only according to what she can give and what she wants to give. I don't want her to be shy. I do want to meek, as in I don't want brashy, trashy. I don't like that because that's not who I am. And God has said how a woman should be. But it doesn't mean that she needs to be my slave/servant. I was so grateful that I didn't marry locally, though apparently I was meant to have done it, I heard, through the grapevine. But another thing that we do is when the woman has been bought and married, she has to go and be a slave at the man's house. So she has to go and then wake up at 3 a.m. I'm just giving times. Some people it's 4, some people they can wake up at 5. Imagine they're allowed to wake up at 5 to go be slaves at their in-laws' place. I understand that some people, they really do not mind. And I accept that. Just like for me, I'm a Xhosa. The only thing I liked about I'm a Xhosa is that even then I was still immodest, I was normal. But I loved the way that you could tell that this girl is a new bride. You could see them in the taxi. They wore long-sleeved, generally what I saw, long-sleeved blouses. Always, no breasts showing, nothing. They were covered up. They had these long, specific type skirts that are African, though African print is a human invention. It's a white invention, apparently. Because we all didn't have cloth, apparently. So we didn't have cloth. We all wore animal skin, which I'm pretty sure is correct. But then when the Dutch came and whoever came with cloths, then we said, well, we identify with this cloth, we Sotho people. And the Xhosa said, we identify with umbhaco, and so yeah. So they wear ilando, idaki, that's what we call it. and then they have a towel around their waist, and for me it just looked beautiful. I never saw the blankets often. Sometimes, yes, I saw a blanket, and it's a specific blanket, specific material, specific everything, and a cloth, a head covering, and you knew this is a bride. And always they looked decent. I wanted that. I wanted to look decent. And interestingly, I also wanted a new name. Those of you who saw my video called Love Us, I think you can understand why I'd want a new name. Yeah. So there's that. But then, so you dress like that, and then you have to go. Sometimes some people wake up at 3 a.m. if there's a horrible family, and the poor woman on her own has to go and fetch water on her own for the whole family, the husband's family. She must cook for everyone. Others, they are treated like family. That is true. But what I was told by my mother back then in the 90s and 2000s was, I will have to wake up, be very happy about it, don't bath, just hurry up and get dressed quickly, go out and ask, knock, knock. This is what I was told. This is the culture. I must knock on the doors. Hi, would you like some tea? What kind of tea? I don't even drink tea. I'm nervous of making tea. I lived in Britain. I am scared of tea. People are so particular about their tea, about the milk and the water and the sugar. That already gave me palpitations, knowing that I have to make tea. So I have to go around to everybody, uncles, brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins, mother, father, granny, whoever. I, as the poor new wife, never the man. I've been bought, after all. I've been bought as a slave. You see, that's how it was put together in my own head. My very Christian, rebellious head. So I've been bought, so I must now wake up and make tea for everybody. I must wash their whatevers, I must wash their hands, and then I must come back, and then I must now make breakfast for everybody. And woe betide if they hate the breakfast. Then I must cook something else. And then this is all while being watched and assessed. All of this hard labor. And it has to be, that's what I was told, in a rural area. I can't come to my suburb and then say, okay, mother-in-law, come stay here with me and I'll do your washing in the washing machine. I have to go and get the bucket of water. No, I would never want to do that. I can't do that to anybody else's daughter. So she said, my mother said I would have to do that for 2 weeks. I don't know how long people do it. But that is what I would have to do if I married Umxhosa specifically. She was speaking as Umxhosa / Ihlubi. That is what she told me. And yeah, that's every day. And then you sleep. You finally rest when everyone else is sleeping. Then you rest. That is what I was told. And I said, no. N-O means no. If I ever marry a Xhosa guy, I'm telling him, we're going on honeymoon, and I'm never ever going to stay with your mother. I'm not doing that, even for a day. No. What? I haven't asked why. If he thinks I'm good enough to marry, then I will take care of him the way I think is right, and whichever way suits him and I. Sorry, phone call came in and just interrupted that. So I've lost my train of thought, and I really don't have time to go back and check. So I was saying, the whole slave thing just didn't work for me. You can look up for yourself what the reason is behind it. But it's a bride, a newlywed woman is called umakoti. So yeah, you go and you slave a lot, and then you finally go and be married. I'm not sure what the purpose is, except to show that you can work hard. But what about the husband? You see, and that's the thing. For me, a wife is there to help, not to serve. As in, not to be a servant, but a helper. We're in it together. We both should be knowing how to wash dishes. We both should be knowing and doing cooking. So why should the focus only be on me? And that is why I will never ask a young girl, well, even if she's old, 40, I don't know what age my son will get married, but whatever, my future daughter-in-law, you are safe with me. I'm black, I'm African, but I'm a rebel. So you will never be expected to come and work. You can help me, believe me. I will be so happy if you come and help me. But if you just come to visit, that's all I need. That's all I will be happy about. That's not all I need. I want. I don't deserve a visit. You are married to my son, not to me. But I do want to be an extra mom in any way that I can. And those who know me, those who love me, know that I would make a wonderful extra mom to any young man or lady, unless she's a drug addict. But even then, I'll be nice. But I won't accept your drug taking, and I won't want you to do it in my house. And I'll be very upset if you have a child while on drugs. So yeah, I'll be nice, but there are some things that I won't accept. Sorry. But yeah, you will not have to be my slave. That you can take to the bank. The men can decide whatever they want. All I know, and I can tell you now, my future daughter-in-law, is I just need you to be loved and to love him. If he loves you, that already means that's all that matters, really. He's marrying you, not me. I'm not going to sleep with you. So if he thinks you're worth marrying, then that's already half the battle. The other battle is that I hope that you will be good for him, that you will help him, that you will not hinder him, but you will support him. If he wants you both to be career people, that'll make me sad because I'm a Titus 2 mom. But if that's what he wants, then I will support the two of you in your endeavors. But I'm not going to be a babysitter. No. Hire one. So honestly, I'm telling you now, if you both believe you have to work because that's who you are, not because you needed the extra money, then hire a babysitter. It's not going to be me. I want to just, if I can, if I'm alive, and if I physically can, I want to be a help for the mom who has no break from her children, a stay-at-home mom. Then I will be your help. Otherwise, bring the grandchildren over for a normal visit. But I'm not going to babysit Monday to Friday while you go off, both of you, to work. Pay for creche. That I will not do. I refuse. But in the same way, I'm not going to be your slave servant. You don't have to be mine either. Come, visit, we'll talk. If I'm rich, I'll take you shopping. You can take me shopping, but you don't have to. You don't have to buy me grocery. You don't have to buy me anything. You just need to love my son in the exact way you promised on your wedding day. And get this, which is not normal for us, especially in Southern Africa, by the way it is and what I've seen. I will expect a lot from my son too. It's not only about you and what you bring to this marriage. He must be kind. He must be everything he promises he will be in his vows to you. And if he messes up, I will stand by you because you are the one who has been hurt. I've seen families where the mother is a witch. Seriously, you only can be a witch to stand by your son who has cheated on his wife, who has never cheated on him. Okay, if it's revenge cheating, I don't know. That's messy. But to see a mother support a son hurting his wife, I've seen it. It's actually quite common here in Southern Africa. It really is. That's not me. I would spank him if I could. I don't even spank him now at 18. But if at 28, 38, 48, he ever breaks your heart, I will call him to task and I will take your side. Even if you've been the worst wife, there's no excuse for adultery, ever. That is why God said, stone the adulterer. He didn't say, ask the adulteress, oh, did you not have sex last night? Is that why he did it? It's not about you. It's about him and about him sinning against you and being a liar to you on your wedding day in front of me and in front of God. And so I will support you. If you're infertile, here in Southern Africa, I know it's a big deal. I don't know about other places because I never spoke about it or heard anyone. But here in Southern Africa, it is a big deal We want our daughters to be baby machines. And what I've seen is that if the couple doesn't have children, it's automatically the bride's fault, and he must go and impregnate someone else to bring a son, a child into the family, preferably a son. That's stupid. What if he's the one who's infertile? Like, he could have sterile. He could have no sperm, low sperm, messed up sperm, sperm with tails that are not swimming in the right direction. Biology. It takes 2 people to make a baby, not 1. And so if you or him are infertile, if you can't conceive, I don't care. It doesn't decrease your value in any way. I will love you forever. If you adopt, you will be my favorite daughter-in-law. I don't think my other son will get married. So you will be my favorite daughter-in-law if you adopt. If you don't, that's fine. You do what you need to do in your family. It's your family, yours. All I will do is hold your hand when you need me to. If you need me to reprimand my son, I will do it. And I will stand by what is right, not what is blood.